With us is the head coach of Huntington boys team, Coach Ron Hess. Coach, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Thanks for coming on. Seedings, it doesn't mean anything. You guys, 2 years in a row, you've won the AAA state championship as a lower seeded team, a 3 seed last year. What was it the year before?
I'm thinking, Lord, I think we were a 5 seed the year before.
Okay, so you come from the middle of the seeding pack both times. Just kind of talk about that, and the fact that you've got your team obviously to peak in March when the games are at the utmost importance.
Yeah, we have. We've been lucky in that respect. Towards both times toward the end of the seasons, we've had losses, and really both times that seemed to help us. It seemed to kind of get us focused and understand that we have to play good defense. We got to play good defense. We got to rebound the basketball, and we've got to share the basketball. And a lot of times that just seemed to wake our kids up. And when we got into the state tournament, we've just been playing our best basketball both times.
Yeah, in terms of rebounding, when I think back to that game against Parkersburg South, and J.R. Howard had a heck of an effort for your group. 16 rebounds in that title game? Tavian Dunn-Martin scored 23 points in the win, 7 of 18 shooting. What was last year's title run like compared with the year before? Anything stick out to you that was more significant between the two?
No, probably last year we had to have somebody like JR, somebody step up, and usually it was a team effort because we really didn't have that Eric Nixon go out and get us 10, 12 rebounds every game. So we really had to play more as a team defensively and do a lot more blocking out because we couldn't depend on somebody, just one person rebounding. And, JR definitely stepped up in the title game for us, and I think it was either 15 or 16 rebounds. And we had to have somebody do that, and he stepped up for us.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the losses late in the year, and last year you lost twice. You lost to Hurricane back-to-back. They were tight games. They were both one-possession games, but you lose those games back-to-back in late February and then turn around and win by a wide margin over Hurricane in the semifinals at the Civic Center. Any significance you draw from that?
Well, our kids definitely wanted to play Hurricane up at the Civic Center. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes when you lose like that, it just makes you hungry because you feel like, you should have won those games and you can win those games. And when we got up to the Civic Center, they wanted Hurricane to win. They wanted another shot at Hurricane, and they couldn't wait to get out there and play that game that night. And I knew we were going to play well. Now, I definitely didn't expect to win like we did. I thought it'd still be another close game, but I thought we'd win. But I never expected us to win by 20-some points in that game.
Was that perhaps one of your best performances, if not the best performance of the year? I mean, you shot 50% from the field. You out-rebounded them. You hit your foul shots. 7 3-pointers went in. Was that you still had a championship to win the next night, but was that the game?
It probably was one of the best games we played all year. We also played very well when we went down to Logan because, you go down to Logan, you've got to play well to win down there. And that was a big game for us to win down there because that made us the number 1 seed in our section. And that was big to get that because, you had Spring Valley. So you didn't want to have to go through and beat Spring Valley and Logan in our section. So that was a huge game. We played very well down there. But the Hurricane game was probably the best game we played all year, without a doubt.
Rich, we talked with Magnolia's guard, Preston Boswell, just a little bit ago. He described himself as a scrappy player. And when I think of Tavian Dunn-Martin, I think of scrappy as well, and just a winner, a fierce competitor and a winner. Can you put into perspective the career that he's had and now heading into his senior season?
No, that's really is hard to do. He's definitely a special player. The year that we beat Hurricane in the championship game, he had some just unbelievable shots, a couple threes down the stretch. They kind of got us back in the game and tied the game up for us late there. He's just a kid who he loves the big stage. He loves to play basketball. He's always in the gym. He practices very hard every day. He loves the game. He's so smart out there on the floor, too. This year he's out there calling a lot of the plays before I even call things. He already knows what to call before I even have to say anything. And he's really become just a great leader for us. He's already signed at Akron to play for them, so that pressure's off of him. So I'm hoping he's just going to relax and enjoy his senior season this year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you about next in signing with Akron. What was that process like for him, and what do you think that fit will be eventually at the next level?
Well, that's one of the things when Tavian came in as a freshman. That's one of the things that I heard. I think it's from his grandfather. He said, all Tavian wants to do is get a D1 scholarship. And, he set his mind to doing that. He worked hard every day out of the season. He's lifting weights. He's going working on his dribbling, the shooting, things that he had to do to get there because he's not a big kid. He's about 5'7", 5'8". So that was something that he's always wanted. And for him to get that this year and to sign early, it's a relief to him. It's something he wanted to achieve, and he's achieved that. So now he can just let go of that and just set his sights on his senior season.
Well, this core group has won a couple, and now they arrive in their senior season. You got a lot of seniors on this team this year after losing a couple of guys off last year's team. That's a lot of pressure when you've won 2 in a row, and now they're seniors. And how do you deal with that? Is there any way to try and ease that a little bit off these guys?
I really don't think it's pressure. I mean, you go into every season a little bit differently. And, we're not even thinking about the state tournament right now. All we're looking at is our first game. We've got that coming up this Friday. We're at practice. We're working hard. I'm trying to make sure they're doing the right things. And, it's a long season. We're going to take some losses. There's no way I think we're going to go through the season undefeated. I think a lot of times losses are good for us. They kind of wake us up. And, it's just a long season. The kids, I'm trying to get them to enjoy the season. I mean, they've already accomplished so much that they need to go into the season. Of course, we want to play hard and get better as the year goes along, but I want them to enjoy their senior season.
Is that one of the things then you're looking for, just to go out there and have fun in the season opener here? You've got Cabell Midland on Friday, like you mentioned. Is that one of the things you're looking for, or what are you looking to this coming up on Friday?
Well, I definitely want to have fun, but, we're going to work. We're going to play hard. There's no doubt about that. But you want them to go out and just try to make sure that we get better every game. We're not a team that's very deep this year. So I got to build some depth for us somehow in this first part of the season. So I've got to look at some kids and get them some playing time in there and see, who works well together, who can get in there and gel with the seniors, the upper kids that I have. Got a couple of younger kids that are coming up that are going to have to step in because, like I say, I've got the 4 seniors back, and then I've got to find the 5th starter. And I got to find a couple of the kids that can come in and give us some minutes too. So that's one of the big things, get these younger kids in and let them get some experience this year. So, like I say, it's a long season. We've got to continue to get better, and that starts with the first game.